Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys had a great week off. I did not. Well, I didn't have a full week off, but it was still nice to get a couple days off. But I'm itching for NBA. I need it back in my life as soon as possible. So, got a nice little 9 game slate. As always, these videos get posted to this Reddit. I'll have it linked down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions leading up to lock, etc. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter. Right here, I'll have that link down below. And if you're looking for like sportsbook plays, more private videos, um, player pools for cash, GPPs, I give you guys cores, all that good stuff. I will have my Discord link down below. Here are my sportsbook plays for the next 2 days. If you guys want to play them, if they're still up, by all means, go for it. I'll give you guys that for free, right there. If you want to play those, by all means, go for it. I don't know if any of them are still up. I think Luka Doncic is like 27.5 points now. LaMelo is at like 31.5. Trae Young's at 26, 27.5. I think Wemby might be still up. I think Barnes might still be up. Kuzma got ripped. Tatum definitely not up. I think Okongwu is still up, and I think Mark Williams is still up. This game starts in a couple hours, so yeah, if you want to play those, I would not take bumps, but if they're still up, by all means, guys, go for it. All right, yeah, let's get to my lineups from the All-Star break. So, as you guys know, I'm really into niche sports. You guys know that's one of my more profitable things to do is play niche sports, summer league, spring football, all-star games, right? You guys know that's one of my most profitable things. So I'll just show you guys what happened. It was incredible. I'm not going to show you guys all my lineups actually. I'll just show you guys what happened. So this was the two all-star games. Just I made I think like 50 or 60 lineups for both. Only like two lineups didn't cash. It was absurd. We absolutely printed the All Star game. It was just absolutely fantastic. I can't really go. Did I go to all of them? I think that's it. Yeah, I think I made like close to $1,000 just on the All Star game alone. So yeah, it was great. 70% of people clicked Anthony Edwards when he doesn't take the All Star game seriously. That was hilarious. Just 70% owned Anthony Edwards is just the worst play of the year, in my opinion. Nikola Jokic was like 40% owned. He doesn't try. I'm telling you, the All Star game is the best NBA slate of the year. If you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money on the All Star game. Like I said, just Anthony Edwards being 70% owned is the worst play of the season. People just have no idea what they are doing. So, yeah, let's get into this 9 game slate. We got Memphis at Indiana here. Should be a good game to watch. Okay spot here. I really like Jaren Jackson Jr. at 8.1K. Whether like Miles Turner plays, Thomas Bryant plays, doesn't really matter. Pretty good spot here. He's actually been leading the team in usage of late. He can grab some rebounds. Good defender, can rack up steals, blocks. Good spot here going up against the Pacers. So I am kind of pretty high on Jaren Jackson Jr. in GPPs tomorrow. I don't think anyone's going to really play him. I think I probably even prefer him to like a Ja Morant point per dollar. I don't mind Ja. Like I said, I think I prefer Jaren. I think Jaren's a really good play tomorrow. Don't think anyone's going to play him. Desmond Bane's playable at 7.5K. I think he's getting to the price point to where he should be. With everyone healthy, he kind of takes a back seat. Like Jaren will be higher usage, Ja will be higher usage. So he's my least favorite of the three here. I can't get to any of his value. I think Santi Aldama should play low to mid 20s minutes. Another good point per minute guy off the bench at 4.5K. We don't really have much value on this slate, and there have been times where they will close smaller and they will close with like an Aldama, right? They will close with like a Brandon Clark. So I kind of like Aldama for value. I don't think anyone's really going to play him. I think he's my preferred value of anyone on Memphis. So yeah, I think I'm kind of talking myself into Aldama a little bit. I think if you're playing large field GPPs, if you're playing like 150 lineups, I would definitely sprinkle in some just because the range of outcomes, he could play 20 minutes tomorrow or he could play like close to 30 minutes tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked. So, because there have been times they will close smaller, right? Luke Kennard should go back to the bench with Ja Morant back. GG can't get there. I guess Brandon Clark's a decent value at 3.6K. She'll play high teens minutes. We just don't really have any value as the slate stands right now. Now, I'm sure that's going to change later down the road, like tomorrow when we start getting news and stuff like that. So I do expect Miles Turner to be playing here. Rick Carlisle said he was good to go. So with that being said, that just takes Thomas Bryant out of play for me. Trying to figure out what to do with Benedict Mathurin. So Mathurin has ran extremely hot on minutes. I think what they're going to do going forward is kind of go with a hot hand situation between Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, and Benedict Mathurin. I think Nembhard, of course, like Halliburton's going to close, Siakam's going to close, Nembhard's going to close. Then it could be like they could close with Nesmith, they could close with Mathurin, they could even close with Ben Shepherd in some games. So I think they're kind of going to go with a hot hand situation here. And the guy that's been hot of late has been Benedict Mathurin. Listen, there's not too many people on this slate that are 5.2K that has this type of ceiling that Benedict Mathurin has. Now, if he's going to be giga chalk tomorrow because he's been running hot on minutes and shooting the ball extremely well, I think you could make the argument to fade. But I do think he is a good point per dollar play. I just have a little bit of worry that he might be a little bit over-owned due to recent performance. It's a really good matchup going up against Memphis as well. Memphis, they struggle against three-point shooting. Mathurin's a guy that's going to chuck, so yeah, good spot for Mathurin. I think he's a good value. Nesmith, he moved in the starting lineup 2 games ago. Hasn't really done much with it. He hasn't really played well. He got into foul trouble this game. They could easily close with Aaron Nesmith over Benedict Mathurin. I think it's going to depend on like how the game's going, how either of them play. I think he's an interesting bounce back candidate. Like he was chalk here. No one played him here. Had an okay game at 3 points. It's not great, but he could run hot on minutes, right? So I think it's going to kind of depend on how everyone's playing here in the game flow. But I think he's intriguing. Obi Toppin is just too pricey for me at 4.9K. Can't do it. Not going to play Ben Shepherd. So some intriguing plays here. I think, Siakam, Halliburton, they're both playable. I think I prefer Siakam to Halliburton, but it's really close. Then Miles Turner, if he's back and he's not on a limit of any sorts, 6K is too cheap for him. So he'd be a good point per dollar play. All right, this game, not much interest. Great rebounding spot for Jason Tatum if Joel Embiid plays. With rebounding when Embiid plays, Embiid kind of brings everyone out, like they're guarding out to the perimeters. Like Jason Tatum is going to be on the weak side. He gets easy rebounds off like 3-point shooting, etc. It's a great rebound spot. You could see him go for a massive double tomorrow. But yeah, just a contrarian spin up personally for me on this slate. I think I prefer like potentially like a LeBron. I don't think Luke is going to play tomorrow. I think, I would expect Giannis to be on some type of limit, but like you have Jokic up there. You have Kat in a fantastic spot. So I think he's a good spend up, just not my favorite on this slate. Jaylen Brown at 8K. I mean, listen, when this team's healthy, we know. It's the same breakdown every time. Brown's playable. Porzingis in this matchup I don't love. Derek White's getting to the price point where he should be. Pritchard's overpriced with everyone healthy. Al Horford should go back to the bench with Drew Holiday back. I guess Drew Holiday, if there's no limit on him, this is just way too cheap for him. So actually, he's a really good value. I didn't even peep that price when I was researching the slate by myself before this video. So yeah, I like Drew Holiday. He's probably my favorite play on Boston if he's not on some type of limit. He has been out for, I want to say like 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah, about a week and a half, 2 weeks. All right, moving on to Philly. So I would suspect Joel Embiid's going to play in this game. Same with Tyrese Maxey. So, yeah, I'm not too excited about much here outside of Joel Embiid. Bad matchup going up against Boston, but listen, Joel Embiid playing close to 40 minutes a game. Like, he was out just for rest in their last game. So I would suspect he's 100% here. And this is a really important game. Like, Sixers need to win games. You have sub 10K Joel Embiid. I would rather play Joel Embiid than Jason Tatum, to be honest. Just the matchup's bad. But if this was last year and Joel Embiid was sub 10K on a slate, not on a limit, he would be the highest owned play on the slate. So I really like Joel Embiid as contrarian spin up. Just if he's really chalky, I think you can get away. But if he's low owned, I'm going to definitely be taking shots there. Tyrese Maxey is priced right with Joel Embiid healthy. Same with Paul George. Paul George really takes a back seat with Joel Embiid healthy. Kelly Oubre is overpriced. Can't get to like anything else here. Quentin Grimes, meh. Now, if we get like for some reason Joel Embiid out, Tyrese Maxey out, then we can get to some stuff. Then I'd really like Quentin Grimes. Then Yabusele becomes an interesting play. Then Kelly Oubre looks really solid. Then I really like Paul George. So it's really just going to depend. We have to keep an eye on Eric Gordon. I believe we got that news. It's not really going to impact too much, though. We have Edwards out, so they'd be a bit thinner than, like, Ricky Council. etc. would have to get run. And I believe the Sixers just signed Lonnie Walker as well, but I don't think he'll be available. All right, Orlando. So, yeah, not going to play Anthony Black, Cole Anthony at these price points. They just want to play Anthony Black right now. Like, if I knew Cole Anthony got 30 minutes at this price point, I would love him in this matchup, but they just don't want to play him right now. They're giving just Anthony Black 30 minutes for no reason. The bigs I like in GPPs. Now, I don't think you can go there in single entry. I really don't. I guess you could, but I think they're intriguing large field plays just because they're going to go with the hot hand here. Both bigs are good point per minute guys. We don't have a ton of value on the slate. Nobody's going to play them. And if you guess one of them correctly, whichever one of them plays like close to 30 minutes is probably going to break the slate at these price points. This game it was Wendell Carter Jr. This game it was Wendell Carter Jr. It's been more so Wendell Carter Jr. of late, but this game was Goga. Right here, another great Goga game, right? So they're kind of going with the hot hander. I think both are intriguing large field plays, but I'm not going to mess with the value too much here personally myself. And then I like Franz and Paolo. I think they're both great upper mid-range spend-up plays. I think I honestly prefer Franz to Paolo. All right, let's move on to Atlanta. Really bad spot here. Clint Capella is going to be available for this game, or should be available, so that really hurts like pretty much everyone. Mainly like Okongwu's minutes could become a little bit more up and down. Mo Guy, 3.9K, just unplayable. Not really into like Rishisher. I am a little bit intrigued by Karis LeVert. I think they just need to play him big minutes right now. They just don't have any offense. Outside of Trae Young with JJ out, no more Hunter, they just don't have offense. So I think they're going to have to play Karis LeVert all the minutes he can handle going forward. So I still think he's going to push for around 30 minutes. So I do like Karis LeVert. No one's going to play him tomorrow at that price point. Dyson's priced right. If it was a better matchup, I would really like Trae Young at this price point just because it's way, way too cheap. I have a feeling he'll be popular tomorrow just due to the price point, but a really bad matchup. But 9.4K Trae Young is too cheap. He's a good spend up. Probably be somewhat owned tomorrow. I can't mess with anything else. So I'm interested, like Karis LeVert. If Capella's available, which I'm suspecting he should be and will be active, and playing Hurts Okongwu. All right, Cleveland, okay spot here going, actually pretty good spot here going up against Brooklyn. I think they're going to try to play DeAndre Hunter 30 minutes tonight. He was pacing for 30 minutes. He actually got some of the blowout in the fourth quarter, but so did the starters. Like Donovan Mitchell was in there with him. So I think they're going to push him for like 30 minutes tonight. What I said with like De'Aaron Fox, what I said with, who is the other one? I don't know. Nobody's going to play these new trade candidates. And if you get like the situation and the roles correctly, you could win a lot of money. Like Fox nuked the slate one day. Nobody played him because everyone's scared of these new roles. So I think if you push for like Hunter for like 30 minutes a night, he's at least playable at 4.9K. It's just the role in this team is going to be a lot worse playing alongside the likes like Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, right? On the Hawks, he was like literally their number 2 with Jalen Johnson out. So just unfortunate there. That's going to be a much different role. I can't play Max Strus. I think Mobley's in a great spot at 8.4K. I think he's a little bit intriguing. Same with like Mitchell and Garland. Jared Allen in a good spot. I think my favorite plays here are the bigs, but I'm not really going on my way to play anyone on Cleveland tomorrow. Brooklyn, I really like Cam Johnson in GPPs. The one weakness the Cleveland Cavaliers have is three-point shooting, pull-up stuff. So like Cam Johnson, a guy that's going to chuck from 3. He is in the good matchup on this team. 6K. Off a minutes restriction, no Cam Thomas with the team to himself. I don't think anyone's going to touch him tomorrow. I kind of hate to say it. I really like Cam Johnson in GPPs tomorrow if his ownership is low. Claxton, I'm not going to do at that price point. D'Lo, you could take darts on in GPPs, just the minutes haven't been great, but the role has been absolutely elite. I will say that. I don't know if I want to mess with like Zaire. I guess it's fine. If any of these guys, I will say, if any of these guys are chalky going up against the Cavs because we have no value, I would just not play them, by the way. I would just not do it. But if they're unowned or low owned, sure, you can buy into like a Zaire, a Keon. They're playable values. All right, moving on to Chicago. Looks like Paul is going to be out. Lonzo Ball is going to be active, so we should get Matas Buzelis going back to the bench, so it's kind of hard to go there. Kevin Huerter and Trey Jones, I think, are both viable large field values. They said they wanted to get these guys acclimated and give both of them runs, so I actually don't mind both of those guys for value. I think they're playable. I think, with Lonzo coming back, that kind of hurts everyone else. It hurts Io the most, and it hurts Matas the most. Kobe White with no Zach LaVine, of course, is a little bit too cheap. Giddy at 7-2 is priced right. Vooch, playable. I don't think I'm as excited as the field's going to be about the Bulls tomorrow. I think my favorite play here is definitely going to be Kobe White. I think he's a good play, and I'm intrigued by the values here in Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. But they are going to have more bodies coming back with like Lonzo, so like you have to be a little bit careful there. But they said they wanted to get him acclimated. I would still expect Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter to be in the rotation, especially Huerter. I would still expect teens minutes from those guys. Just large field GPP darts for those two guys. All right, Knicks. I would expect OG and Anunoby to come back for this game. So if OG plays, I absolutely love Cat. I absolutely love Brunson. I think they're two of the better plays in the slate. I think they're going to be two really popular plays tomorrow. I think it's for good reason, though. I think both look fantastic. Love both of them. If OG's back, not on a limit, I think Mikal and OG are playable. Josh Hart's is super safe. We know the drill. Going to get you close to a triple-double most likely. Double-double, huge minutes. We know the drill there. Super safe and a great matchup. So these Knicks are going to be somewhat popular tomorrow. I think it's for good reason. Cat Brunson definitely being your best. Precious going to go back to the bench with OG back, so I can't go there. Miles McBride's playable in a large field GPP setting just because we have no value. But I'm not going to go there personally. And then if OG's out, yeah, you can consider like Precious, bump to Cat. Cat looks better. Josh Hart looks better. Still not going to mess with the value. Just makes Precious the thing at 5.7K. Our Clippers, good spot here for Norm Powell. He's probably my favorite. Zubac at 7.5K is fine. It's just, what are we doing, Ty Lue? Why are we closing with Ben Simmons over Zubac? If Ty Lue should, like, he's fascinated with going small when he has someone who can play small. I absolutely hate it. Just make Zubac minutes a little bit more riskier when he was their second best player all year long until Kawhi Leonard and Norm Powell just turned into Jesus Christ. Actually, I would say Zubac has been better than Harden, to be honest. So, I think Norm Powell's my favorite play at 7-4. I think Kawhi's playable. Off his minutes restriction, it's just too cheap, right? So I like both Norm Powell, Kawhi Leonard. I think Harden's playable. His assist rates should go up with Kawhi back. Zubac's just a GPP only play. I'm not going to mess with like the value here in Ben Simmons and those type guys. All right, moving on to the Bucks. So I would suspect Giannis is going to play. He practiced today. We'll have to see if he's going to be on some type of limit or not. If he's not limited, of course he's going to be playable. Bobby Portis is now out of play at that price point. I think Dame's priced right now with Giannis coming back. Same with Kyle Kuzma. So there's really nothing I can get to here on the Bucks if Giannis is out or in. If he is out, then yeah, we can consider like Dame, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, but they're still all priced up when Giannis was out. So would be no must there. All right, last three games of the night, guys. Charlotte, well, it's going to be a back-to-back here for Charlotte, so we'll see if like LaMelo sits or like Mark Williams sits, and then we'll have to go from there, see what they do tonight with the minutes with Mark Williams back. So it's kind of going to be tough to say. I think Mark's going to play close to 30 minutes if he does play tonight. 8.5K is reasonable. Okay matchup going up against Denver. Large field only dart for me. Sub 10K LaMelo I think looks great. If he plays, I want to monitor how many minutes he does play tonight. And like I said, I think he could sit on a back-to-back. And then I'm not going to mess with anything. I think Nick Smith's a good value of 4 or 5. We just have no other value. And then, like, yeah, if LaMelo's on, like, a 30-minute limit, I'm not going to go there if he's only playing 30. If Mark only plays, like, 25 to 30, I'm still not going to go there. Because at this price point, you kind of need ceiling minutes. And, yeah, Miles is just okay. And then if we start getting into, like, both LaMelo and Mark out, then, yeah, I really like Miles. I like both the bigs, and Musa, Yusuf Nurkic. I really like Nick Smith for value. KJ Simpson becomes a thing at 4.2K. He'd be a good value. Alfred Payton at 4K. So there'll be a lot to like here if both those guys sit tomorrow. All right, everyone probably here for Denver. Jokic in a great spot. He's the best bet up on the slate. It's not close. He's going to be really popular tomorrow, but it's for good reason. Love, 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 love Jokic. I think Jamal is just still too cheap. Why are we not raising up the price point? He went for like 60 fantasy points in 3 quarters, 74. He did play the fourth, I guess, but he had 60 at the third to fourth quarter break. I saw he's still too cheap. I don't know what we're doing here. So really like both Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. If you want to keep riding the hot streak, I think it's okay. I'm just going to keep fading. Braun's priced right with everyone healthy. Aaron Gordon's playable. I'm not going to mess with the value. All right, Phoenix, great spot here for both Booker and Kevin Durant. I love both in GPPs tomorrow. Don't think anyone's going to play either of them. I think they're both fantastic. Really like both of them. Bradley Beal is, I would suspect, is going to play. We'll have to keep an eye on Grayson Allen. If he's out, you get Royce O'Neal in the starting lineup. He'd be a good value. Bull with everyone healthy, can't go there. Tyus Jones is at least fine, but with Bradley Beal in, takes a huge downgrade in usage. We do have, I believe, Kevin Durant was out, or was it Booker? I believe it was Booker. I forget. One of them out, or both. No, it's Booker. Booker that was out. And Bradley Beal, I want to say. Yeah, Bradley Beal. And then if Bradley Beal's out, then, I really like Tyus Jones. Then I think, if Grayson's out, I really like Royce O'Neal a bit better. Then I absolutely love both Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Then we could look to a lot more stuff here on Phoenix. And then if everyone's in, I'm not less excited about, Royce, Grayson Allen. Mainly excited about, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant in a really good spot going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Love Wemby. I think he's one of my favorite spin-ups on the board. Fantastic matchup. I absolutely love De'Aaron Fox. I think Wemby and Fox are two of my more favorite GPP plays in the slate. We'll see what their ownership comes in at. If they're lower owned, I'm going to be all over them. I love both of them. And then we got to be less excited about much else here. I think Chris Paul is one of the better values that we've gone over so far. But outside of those three, I don't like much. Wise Castle, 6.2K. Vassell at 5'8 is fine. He has a ceiling. You couldn't pay me to play like Harrison Barnes. I'm not going to mess with anything else, but I love De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. I think they're two of my favorite GPP plays on this slate, and then I really like Chris Paul for value. All right, so we're going to have to see if LeBron plays tonight. If he doesn't play tonight, I would suspect he plays tomorrow, but there's also a chance he could sit both games here. Luka, I would suspect, probably sits tomorrow since he's playing tonight. So it's kind of tough to go over right now, but if LeBron plays and Luka sits, I think LeBron just shoots up to one of the best spend-ups on the slate. I think Austin Reeves would look really good. Rui become playable. I don't mind Jackson Hayes. Alex Len's on this team. Oh my god. And then, guys like Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith become fine. Then if we get randomly both out, then I think Austin Reeves is one of the best plays on the board. I think Rui Hachimura looks great. The bigs become worse. Dalton Knecht becomes playable. Jordan Goodwin at 4.1K becomes playable. Vanderbilt's you definitely need some Lakers if these guys are both out tomorrow. And then we get to another headache. 8 and out. Scoot Henderson questionable. Jeremy Grant questionable. Robert Williams questionable. If they're all out once again, I'm going to really like Klingon. Great point per minute guy. Played 31 minutes last game, so I'd be all over Klingon. Even at that price point, he's still too cheap. Denny at 6'3", I'd really like. Simons, I'd really like. Shaden Sharp, I'd really like. Delano Benton, I'd really like for value. So there'll be a lot to like if all these guys get ruled out tomorrow. Nobody's going to play them either. And if we get everyone out, I'm less excited about too much here. If we get Grant out and Scoot in, then I like Scoot. I still have interest in Simons, Denny, Klingon. If we get Robin, kind of downgrades Klingon. He could probably be priced right. And then if we get Scoot out and Grant in, I still like the guards and Bain, Sharp, Simons. So hopefully that helped a little bit. All right, that's going to do it for the slate. Hopefully you guys had a great night. Hopefully you enjoyed the showdown tonight, and I will talk to y'all later.